So what is Congress doing tonight to help our struggling economy? Well, for starters, they're not here. They're not in Washington. Members are on a scheduled 5-week recess, and they're not expected to return until after Labor Day. But earlier today, President Obama assured us that Congress is working hard to fix this mess. Joins us David Drucker, staff writer with Roll Call. I assume you could detect my sarcasm on that.
I could. I know you're upset about this.
It's like a ghost town here.
Yeah, which in some ways I think might be good, because I think it helps if members of Congress actually go home and hear what their voters have to say. It might motivate them when they come to...
Don't they know? I mean, really, my email, I don't have to leave my set, and I know what people are saying.
I get that, but you actually get out of town now and then. Don't assume that when members of Congress are caught up in Washington week after week that they really know what people are thinking and feeling back at home.
If they are that tone deaf, that is stunning to me, but whatever. But if they were here, I think a lot of people think, what could they do here? I actually made a list of things I'd like to have them do while they're here. One is, I think appearances matter. I think if they were here and they showed they worked, that it would inspire the American people, because confidence, they'd think that something's being done. That super committee that's supposed to be formed that hasn't been formed, well, maybe we could get it formed if everybody came back to town and put a little rush on that one. Incidentally, I'd like to know who lobbies them. That GAO report, which was issued in March, which is about this tall, which shows a lot of waste, and the government does an oversight of all the people that are in here in waste. Well, all the members of Congress could walk down the street and go to these government agencies and see 17 people doing the same job and maybe figure out a way to streamline it. There's a lot of work here in Washington.
Look, Greta, Congress can always do anything you put on a list of paper. The question is, what would they do if they were here right now? And I'm not sure if they were here right now today after a very divisive over that debt plan, they would actually get anything constructive done. And I'm not sure it would inspire the American people that they were here, given they have about an 18–20% approval rating. They were here for months, and it didn't inspire anything. I think one thing that's important to note, as far as that select committee on deficit reduction that needs to form per the debt plan that passed last week, there's a 14-day limit according to the law. So a week from tomorrow, the committee has to be selected and get to work to a degree. So we're going to know that pretty quick, and it's my guess that during the recess, members of that committee will talk, they'll start to put staff together, and that this place won't be exactly a ghost town. You just won't have Congress in session.
I'm curious, just to digress a little bit, in terms of that committee, will the American people get a list of who's lobbying that committee?
Well, I don't know that anybody knows who's lobbying the committee until they do.
No, but once they're formed, is there any agreement in this formation? Is there any indication from the President, from the House, from the Senate, that once this committee is formed, that the American people know who's in there hustling, trying to protect himself from cuts or whatever?
Well, unless the committee voluntarily discloses every phone call they get, every door knock they get, then we're not necessarily going to know every minute everything happens. I will say, though, people will be reporting on this. The people doing the lobbying are going to make it very well known, because they're going to want to get public support for the outcome that they want. So this is not going to be some sort of secret lobbying component.
You don't think so? You don't think that so much is being done on the sly on this?
No, because the way they want to sell this is voters want this, people want this, you need to do this. And so they're going to be...
You are so much less cynical than I am at this point.
Well, it's just because of what I see. I think a lot of people think there must be a lot of backroom dealing going on and things on the side, but the truth is most of this stuff is public, either has to be reported, or these people want it public because they want to show the people that are paying them what they're getting for their money. So it's actually very easy to know what's going on in Washington if you pay attention. I so hope, David, that you are right. I hope I'm so dead wrong on this, because more than anything else, because I think it's so profoundly important for so many Americans. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Thanks for having me.
Here's